Welcome to the IPF World Open Sub-Junior and Junior Masters Classic Powerlifting Championships. This is day 12. We've been here for quite a while at the Eleiko headquarters in Halmstad, Sweden. We're really grateful to Eleiko for inviting us here into their headquarters building in order that we could put this competition on. They've given us the space, they've given us the equipment. We could not do this without them. Also grateful to SPD for supporting the competition, the athletes, the federations and the very sport. Without these sponsors, we would not be here. Also sponsored by StrengthLog, the Swedish app that allows you to record your workouts and PRs. Today we have Super Sunday. This is the super heavyweight women. And coming up later today for our very last session of the competition is the super heavyweight men. So we have the super heavyweight women here today, the 84 plus category in the Opens. We have some real heavy hitters and we expect to see some huge weights moved. We have the running order up on the screen for us there. We have Ulrich Kensenhuis from the Netherlands leading the way for us. And then Sarah Gardner from Ireland, followed by Anino Luotonen from Finland, Olga Kuzmina from ROC, Brittany Schlater from Canada, Emilie Leach from Sweden, Amélie Miager from France, and we have very last out with 230 kilos, Anna-Lena Belkvist from Sweden, home country hero here today. We have the bar loaded up. We can see Ulrich is in the wings. She is waiting to be told that the bar is loaded. She's coming out for 165 kilos. This is not her first rodeo. She's competed in many European competitions, but this is her first World Championship. Nice and controlled. And a good lift. You can see she pushes up through there, no deviation of position, keeps her chest up and gets a good opening lift. We like to see nice and easy openers. Gives you a bit of confidence. Last thing you want is to come out and miss your first squat. And of course it's a very nervous environment. A lot of these lifters have travelled long haul. They may be jet lagged, have different food, different environment, and you walk out and there's cameras and lights on you and you're facing IPF referees. This is the hardest level of competition in the world. But here we have Sarah Gardner from Ireland. That looked a little conservative on depth. Let's see what the referees think, and they agree. The hip crease must drop below the top of the knee, and as we watch this back, we see she gets to parallel, doesn't quite break through it. So she's going to have to rejig her whole plan now. Whatever she had planned for second attempts and third, that is now out of the window. I would expect her to come out and try again for the same weight. The weight was no problem for her at all. Anina Luotonen from Finland. She is coming out for 190 kilos. This matches her best. She was 7th in Helsingborg the last time this competition was held. She's going to look to move her position up today. Now that was too fast for me to really catch the depth, but no, it wasn't quite there. If we watch this back, yep, again, just hits parallel, doesn't quite break through it. And of course, these referees do not have the benefit of the slow motion replay that we do. They have to make their decision in a split second. Olga Kuzmina, ROC, next. She's opening her squat with 215. I've just heard that the finish lift it has been overruled to a good lift. Luotanen is a good lift. But we have Kuzmina on the platform right now. And that is a good opening squat at 215. Next up we have Brittany Schlater, silver medalist from the Helsingborg World Championships. What can she do today? She squatted 230 back in Helsingborg, but that's a good 2 years ago now. She's opening today with 217.5. All the way from Canada, she's done 232.5 in competition. That didn't look great. Looked very scrappy at the bottom. Strength was there. Strength was great, but her knees popped out. If we watch that back, if you watch the left knee as she gets into the bottom of the squat, that just pops out, and she corrects it well, drives up. Strength is great. Emily Leach now from Sweden, coming out for 220 kilos. She was 5th in Helsingborg. She's bringing some intensity to her opening squat. Depth look good from here. Drives her knees out as she comes up. Good lift. And she skips off the platform. Looks like she's got plenty more there. Amélie Mierger from France. I would say she is the favourite coming into this competition. Her training has looked phenomenal. She was 3rd in Helsingborg, but she's come on a long way since then. Opening with 222.5. And just on opener, she's looking very evenly matched with Brittany Schlater. Could see a good fight here. Oh, we didn't expect to see that. That was a real wobble on the way up. I expected her to absolutely smoke that weight, but if you watch the replay back, she controls it well, sinks in, but on the way up she hits that sticking point there. I did not expect that. I'm interested to see what she puts on for her next. Anna-Lena Bellqvist from Sweden. She's got the heaviest opener, 230 kilos. She's got the support of the crowd. Braces. Handles the weight very well. And that's a good lift. She pumps her fist into the sky on the way off the platform. That is your first success as a super. In the other categories, your first success is weighing in successfully. And that's the standings as we go into round 2. Anna-Lena Bellqvist is leading from Amélie Mierger, who is leading from Emily Leach. So we are into round 2 of the squat already. This is a relatively small group, just 8 lifters, so that means they're only getting 7 or 8 minutes recovery time between lifts. Ilrish, she's gone up 5 kilos. Shouts her own squat up. And that's a good lift. Sarah Gardner next of Ireland. She did not get this on her last attempt. So she's really going to want to make sure of depth this time. Just didn't quite break through parallel on her opening attempt. So she'll have gone into the back, recalibrated what's expected and what the requirement is. And I hope to see her just push down a little bit further on this attempt. Look better, and she looks strong. That's a good lift. She's on the board. I know that they haven't had many competitions in Ireland over the last year, so you get a little bit out of practice with what the required standard is. But she's on the board now. We've got everyone has a successful squat in. Anina Luotonen from Finland next. She's gone up 10 kilos, opened with 190, and now she's coming out for 200. This will be a 10 kilo PB. Oh no, she just didn't seem to have any power out of the hole. Looked good on the descent, hips started to rise and she just did not seem to have anything to stand up with there. I wonder if 10 kilo jump was a bit too much. Easy to be wise after the event, much harder to call it beforehand. Brittany Schlater, 225, 4 red plates.
A jump to the second place for the movement, followed by Kuchmina and Leach.
She's gone back in. The rack height was not set correctly. It was at about eye level for her, so she's laughing in the wings as she waits to come out. Set correctly now, we've reset the clock and the bar is loaded for Brittany Schlater. Got a tiny bit out of shape just at the sticking point, but she was so fast out of the bottom of the squat. Depth is good. Yeah, just there, just a little bit of work to do just to bring that through. That's a good lift. Olga Kuzmina, ROC. Took 215 for her opener. She's gone up 10. Good lift for her. I think she's got a bit more to come as well on the third. Didn't let the weight move her out of position at all. Emily Leach from Sweden. Only been competing 4 years and she's here on the international stage as an open super heavyweight. Gone up 7.5. This will move her up to silver for the moment. But there's a lot of really close attempts coming up. Ooh, she came forward. And that's no lift. She went fast into the bottom of the squat, relied on the stretch reflex a little bit, but her hips came up and the weight tipped her forward and she could not finish that off. I think if she gets that just spot on, keeps her control at the bottom, she could make that on her next attempt. Amélie Miege from France. She's only gone up 5 kilos. That's interesting. Yeah, she had a little bit of difficulty at the sticking point. She squatted to 30.5 at French Nationals in July. She's done 232.5 in the past. Keeps her position really well, and that gives her a lot of grind to push through with the weight. However, that looked difficult, and I think a 5 kilo increase was the right move. See her elbows come forward as she grinds through and then flips back as she gets to the top. Annalena Belquist. She is already a long way in advance of her squat PB. That training must be going extremely well. Her PB coming into competition was 2:15. This is 2:37.5. Well over 500 pounds. She has asked for the racks to be changed. Yeah, that was the wrong rack height. That was the wrong rack height. So we should be seeing the clock reset, hopefully. Yes, there we go. The clock has been reset and she is ready to go. She is well in the lead on squat, and this will extend that even further. Look at that smile. That was a great squat. No deviation of position. Drove the bar straight up to lockout. Phenomenal lift, and she is not far off the European record. Great squat. And that's where we are at the moment. Annalena Belquist leading the way from Amélie Merger and Brittany Slater. And we have Ilrich Kensenhaus on the platform for 175 kilos. She's done 182.5 in the past. At Dutch Nationals in May, and she shouts that all the way to the top. Good lift for Ilrich. She does not let that weight boss her around. She just drives upwards. Sarah Gardner had a shaky start. Absolutely nailed it on her second. She's gone up 7.5.
With this lift, we jump to the 7th place from the 8th.
She looked very strong under 175. And strong under 182.5 as well. 400 pounds for Sarah Gardner of Ireland.
It is also a new personal best and the 6th place in squat.
Anina Luotonen next from Finland.
The bar is loaded for Luotonen Anina Finland, 200 kilo new personal best.
Open on 190, just did not seem to have any drive for the 200 on the second attempt. She's going to try that again. see she's had some encouragement as she comes out. She's made a better job of that, but I don't think she went as deep. No, afraid not. Sometimes when you fail to squat, you're a little bit nervous of the weight. You just cut it. Yeah, that was very high. That's a shame, but that leaves her with the best of 190. Now, Emily Leach next for 227.5, 500 pounds. And if we look at the graphic as that comes up on the top bar, you can see this will move her from 5th to 3rd on squat, bronze medal position. She did not make this last time. But that looks good. And she has her foot on the squat podium. Can she stay there?
Here's the next one who tried to get the silver medal.
Brittany Schlater next for 230.
Dice loaded for Schlater, Brittany, Canada, 230 kilo, followed by Mirda and Kuzmina, trying to get the bronze, silver medal. Come on, Canada!
This will move her up. She's not on the squat podium right now. This will get her into 2nd place and push Leach down to 4th. Opened with 217.5, went up to 225. This is another 5 kilos. And she's fighting through it. That's a good lift. That was a really good 3rd attempt selection. I don't think much more would have gone. Keeps her position as she comes up, fights through it. Shows real grit and determination there. And that moves her up to silver. Of course, this isn't just about squat medals. This is about building a total for the overall prize, the World Championship title. Amélie Miaugère from France. She's gone up 7.5. That's an unusual progression to go up 5 and then 7.5. But sometimes, if your opener doesn't feel great, you take a smaller jump. A 2nd did look tough though. And she's strong. She's capable of this weight. She has squatted this before. And she is fighting through it. What a grind. Phenomenal. 232.5 for Amélie Miaugère, and that moves her up to silver.
This is an European junior record.
Stayed patient with it, kept her position, kept pushing. However, here comes Kuzmina.
European junior record and a try for the silver medal. Come on, give me that here.
And she is a junior lifter. She's 20 years old. This will be the junior European squat record. Fast descent. Weight didn't seem to trouble her at all. That's a good lift. Junior European squat record for Olga Kuzmina. One more squat to go for Annalena Belqvist. This will be the European Open record. Currently held by Camille Holland of the UK at 240.5. This will also be a 30 kilo PB on the platform. 30 kilos added to her squat today. and that looked comfortable. 3 white lights, and that is a good lift for Belquist at 245. So she is now leading the way, not only in squat, but as she goes into the rest of the competition. So we should be able to get a look at the standings so far. So that's a gold squat medal for Belquist, silver for Kuzmina, and a bronze for Amélie Mierger. So we go into the rest of the competition now with Brittany Schlater only 2.5 kilos behind, and Emily Leach only 2.5 kilos behind that. We have got a 5-way scrap for the world title. We're going to take a 20-minute break now. Join us back here for bench. Welcome back to the IPF Classic World Powerlifting Championships here in Halmstad, Sweden. We have the super heavyweight ladies for you this morning. These are the 84 plus kilo class. We've seen some huge weights moved in the squat competition, and here are the results from that competition. Annalena Belqvist squatted a massive 245 for the European Open record. Olga Kuzmina 10 kilos behind, and Amelie Mierger was 2.5 kilos behind her. But we have Brittany Schlater only 2.5 kilos behind then, and Emily Leach bringing up the rear with another 2.5 kilos behind. So we know that Amelie Mierger and Brittany Schlater are big deadlifters, so they may be able to move their totals up on the deadlift portion. And also Amelie Mierger is a huge bencher. So these standings are going to switch at just about every lift, I think, and every discipline. I think we're going to end up with some really close competition here. So we're about to go into the bench press part of the competition. We're going to be led out by Ulrich Kensenhaus. She had a 175 kilo squat. She's opening her bench at 85. She benched 92.5 at Dutch Nationals back in May, so she should be well capable of this weight.
85 kilo on the back. Buys loaded for Kenzenhuis, Irish, Netherlands, followed by Gardiner and Lurtone. Her personal best is 92.5.
She's just explaining to the platform crew what to do about her hair if it gets in the way. Yes, no one wants to have their hair stood on. Very controlled descent, strong press.
That's a good lead. 95 kilo on the back. It is the same as her personal best. He buys loaded for...
And here's Sarah Gardner out next. First year in the Open, been competing for 4 years. PB is 95 and she is coming out for 95. Explaining to the handoff guy that she's going to swing back under the weight so she doesn't headbutt him in the stomach as she comes through. Okay, Sarah Gardner, 95 kilos on the bar. Easy. That matches her personal best. Looks like she's got plenty more in the tank there too. Anina Luotonen from Finland. Massive opener, 105. PB's 120, so this should look easy. Benched 120 in April this year at Finnish Nationals. And she is self-lifting out. Easy. I feel like a lot more lifters are opting for a self-handout as it gives some consistency. We have to be careful you're not giving away a few kilos by using up some of your strength.
5 kilo. Her personal best is
Annalena
125,
Belquist
followed by
took the gold on
Zlata
squat,
Kuzmina.
opening with 105. Oh, that was very easy.
And the wood lift, 120 kilo on
I
the
would
back.
expect her to take quite a big jump there, maybe 7.5 kilos. That was very easy indeed.
Dice loaded for Zlata Brittany, Canada, 120 kilo, followed by Kuzmina and Leach. Her personal best is 126.5 kilo.
Opening with 120. National record holder in Canada on the bench press at 126.5. Lot of control on the descent and a nice comfortable opener there.
Good lift, 125 kilo on the back. This is 2.5 kilo under her personal best.
Olga Kuzmina from ROC, Russian Olympic Committee. Junior lifter took the junior European squat record.
Olympic Committee, 125 kilo, followed by Leach and Mirga. 2.5
Opening
kilo
her
below
bench
personal
with
best.
125 kilos, 2 red plates. Short range of motion, comfortable press.
Good lift, 127.5 kilo on the back. This is the same as her personal best. She starts with her personal best.
Emily Leach next for 127.5. This match is the best she has done in competition. Nice.
Good lift, 137.5 kilo on the
That's a
back.
great press, and she's straight into PB territory for her next.
Eyes loaded. Omieja Amélie France, 137.5 kilo.
Amélie Mierger for 137.5. This is huge. The European record is 144, so she's opening not far below that. Easy. Wow. Wow, I think we will see a European record coming up soon. She can't chip a European record at world level, but she can still take it. And we now go into the second round of bench. So these are the bench press results. Amélie Mierger leading from Leach from Kuzmina.
Irish, Netherlands, 90 kilo, 2.5 kilo below her personal best, followed by Gardiner and Ruotonen.
We have Ilrich Kensenhaus on the platform. Opened with 85, gone up to 90. And that's some effort, but she puts the fight in. A little bit more to come, I think. I think she's got another 2.5 kilos in her there.
This is the new personal best.
Bar path never faltered.
Bags loaded for
Sarah Gardner
Ireland.
from
New
Ireland.
personal best attempt with 100 kilos.
This
Come on,
is a 5 kilo PB.
Come on, Ireland, you can do better. Come on.
Nice. Very good second attempt.
Good lift. And the new personal best.
She went up 5 kilos from opener to second. It was quite comfortable. She might have another 5 in there. Definitely another 2.5, I think. Anina Luotonen from Finland. Made short work of 105. This is 110.
For Luton and Anina, Finland, 110 kilo, followed by Bergqvist and Zlatan.
Nice and comfy there.
112.5 kilo on the back.
Might have another 5 kilos in that. Bar speed was great. Now we have Belquist. She's gone up 7.5. But her opener was super easy.
Sweden, 112.5 kilo, followed by Zlatan and Leach. This is the same as her personal best.
Easy. I would say there's another 5 in there.
And a good lift. 127.5 kilo on the back. This is a new personal
Doesn't shift off the bench. You need to keep your head and your butt down on the bench and your feet flat on the floor. Some lateral movement of the foot is fine, but you may not lift your heels.
Bags loaded for Zlatan,
Here's Brittany Schlater.
Canada, 127.5
She's also gone up 7.5.
New personal
Opened
best,
with
followed
120.
by Leach and Kuzmina. Come on,
And it was very comfortable.
wake up.
Uses a lot of tuck. Hasn't got the widest grip.
Good lift.
But she's got relatively short arms, which is great for a bencher. Tucks in, controls it all the way down to the chest. Bit of leg drive. And that was a great lift.
Bags loaded for Leach, Emily, Sweden,
Emily Leach next. She's added 5 kilos to her opener. This will move her up to silver medal position on bench. We can see in the yellow box on the bottom right of the graphic, we're starting to build the subtotal now. Subtotal is your squat plus your bench. Add your deadlift to that for the powerlifting total. Slow but steady. I'd say she had another 2.5. I probably wouldn't put 5 on that.
This is also also a new personal best.
Now we have Kuzmina coming out for 1:35. She's a junior, so we need to keep our eye on the junior records. I think this matches the junior European record, which obviously she can't chip in an open competition. Sitting in third place overall at subtotal. No, that's a surprise, but it was a big jump. She went up 10 kilos from her opener, which is a big jump on bench press. Now we have an European Open record attempt from Amélie Mieger. She's gone up 7.5 kilos. Her opener was really easy. She's pressed 150 in competition before. Yeah, she got 150 at French Nationals. Obviously, she can't take an international record at a national competition. So this will get the European record. A little bit uneven, but we do not have an uneven extension rule. And that takes the European record from Melinda Lombosi of Hungary. So we can start to see the subtotals now as we go into the third round. Amélie Mieger with that huge bench is pulling out a lead now on Emily Leach. And we have Kuzmina at the same subtotal, but the next two lifters are only 2.5 kilos behind. This is anybody's game. Ulrich Kensenhaus, 92.5. So we said we thought she'd have another 2.5 kilos in her. The coach has put another 2.5 on. And there it goes. Good lift. Ulrich having a good day, got all her benches in. And we have Sarah Gardner next. Her second was super easy. We thought she might have another 5. Coaches have put another 5 on. This will be a 10 kilo PB on bench. Wow, that's huge. Lovely short range of motion there, and she made short work of that. There might have been another 2.5 kilos in there. That was a great bench for Sarah Gardner. And Nina Luotonen from Finland. Gone up another 5. Second was very easy. Oh, and that was a very well judged attempt. I don't think much more would have gone. Her PB was 120, that was 115. And this is a good lesson in it doesn't matter what you've done in the past or what you've done in the gym or even what you think you might be capable of. All that matters is what you can do today. That was a great attempt selection there. Annalena Belqvist. She's added another 5. She went up 7.5. Looked great. easy, very easy. Wow, she'll have 120 and more at her next competition, I'm sure of it. She's having a great day today.
He is at the moment on the third place.
Brittany Schlater next for 130. These are big benches. Went up 7.5, gone up another 2.5. She drove it back, but I wonder if that bar dipped. It certainly stalled. Referees say that it dipped. The bar must travel in a continuous upward motion. Not sure if we'll see the dip from this angle. There it went. Yep, definitely dipped. Which is a shame because she had the strength there. Emily Leach from Sweden. 135 kilos. She's in silver medal position. She can't move up. And she can't have it taken away. She is guaranteed the bench press silver. Slow and steady. Great lift there for Emily Leach, and she snags herself a silver medal on bench, and also a few more kilos to add to that all-important total. Olga Kuzmina coming out again for 135. This will push her up to bronze on bench. We have a really, really close fight on subtotal. That looked much better. 2-1, a good lift. Red card on bench is quite unusual. Maybe the wrong button went down there. However, that was a good lift and snags her the bronze medal on bench. Now here we have Amélie Merger. She took the European Open record. Oh, that was the European Junior record for Kuzmina. This is the European Open record for Merger. She's only 1.5 kilos below the world record. Must feel like it's worth just pushing on her total rather than attempting a record, which might not quite be there. The spotters took that as it started to swing, and that was not there. So I wonder if they will give her another attempt at that. I'm just looking over at the jury to see if they will give her a bit another attempt, as the spotters took that early. I don't see any movement. No, that stands. So here's where we are at subtotal. Amélie Merger is she's a little way out in front now. It would have given her quite the lead if she'd made that third bench. And then we have Kuzmina and Belquist, but we can see there's only a 5 kilo spread from third to fifth. So everything to play for now as we go into deadlift. We're going to take a 20-minute break, and we'll see you back here for deadlift. Welcome back to the IPF 2021 World Open Sub-Junior and Junior and Masters Classic Powerlifting Championships. We're here at the Eleiko headquarters in Halmstad, Sweden. My name's Joe Whiteley. We are through the Masters session of the competition. We're through the Juniors. We are on the last day of the Open. We have the super heavyweight women here now, and we will have the super heavyweight men later today. So this is Super Sunday. These are the standings so far at subtotal. We can see Amélie Miager is in the lead, and from Olga Kuzmina 370 and Belkrist, Leach and Schlater. Now we know that Schlater has got a phenomenal deadlift, so I think she's going to pull back a long way. We expected this to be a battle between Brittany Schlater and Amélie Miager. They clashed last time at Helsingborg, the last time this competition was held, and the silver and bronze medals were decided on body weight. So we thought this would be a two-way fight. However, fifth place lifter from last year, Emily Leach, is right there in the fight with them. Kuzmina is opening much lighter on deadlift, so I think as we get into the openers she will drop out of the race a little bit, and then we will see that this is going to be between Miager, Schlater and Leach. Just a quick word to thank our sponsors Eleiko. They have given up the space and the equipment in their headquarters to enable this competition to happen. We had to rearrange the competition at short notice, and we are very grateful to Eleiko for not only giving us the space, but 2 warm-up platforms. We have 2 platforms. We have 8 warm-up stations in the back. They've also given our athletes access to their own training centre, which has been phenomenal. Sarah Gardner is leading us out on deadlift with 175 kilos. Nice and easy for Sarah. And here's Olga Kuzmina opening at 182.5. Opening quite a bit lower than the first place Miager and also Schlater, so I think she will just start to slide down the rankings a little bit now. She's in third at subtotal. Now that was slow for an opener. I wonder if she just made a technical error at the bottom. The weight seemed a long way forward and it was out in front of her and she's had to pull that back. So maybe if she gets her pull position exactly right on her next attempt, she can make that look easier. And Elena Belkrist with 200. PB is 200, but we've seen her put a lot of weight on her PBs in this competition. Very wide grip. And she made short work of that. Strong pull. Ulrich Kensenhaus. She's pulled 228 before. That was at the Euros, European Classic in Lithuania in 2019. But that has not gone well. Just didn't seem to be able to get it moving, and then it started windmilling, swings round to the right hand side, and there was no way she could bring that back. Now that's a big surprise. We know she's a great deadlifter, so I'm not quite sure what's happened there. Anina Luotonen next from Finland. PB is 230, she's coming out for 220. Gives herself a bit of encouragement. rolls the bar in and pulls it up. Knees looked a tiny bit soft. One referee thought she had soft knees, the other two were happy. So 2-1 in a good way. That is a good lift. So we have the three contenders coming out in quick succession now. Miege for 222.5. We know she's done 232.5 in the past. Again, lockout looked a bit soft. And the centre referee agrees. However, the side referees were happy, and so that is 2-1, a good lift. I think she made a bit of a technical error at the bottom as well. I think the bar was a little bit in front of her and she had to work to pull that back. So I think she's got plenty more to come there. Emily Leach, 230. Matches her current PB, but again we've seen her put a lot of weight on her PBs in this competition. Swedish supers are really flying. Making sure her belt is, she's not happy with how it's sitting. Opting for a rolling start. See this a lot more with the bigger lifters. Needs to be careful to keep her hands on the bar until it gets all the way to the platform though. But that's a great lift for Leach. Comfortable, looks like she's got more in the tank there. However, here's Brittany Schlater for 232.5. Only 5 kilos below her current PB. And once we're through the first round of deadlifts, we can start to look at the projected totals. Nice. Yeah, that was easy. I heard someone in the crowd shout easy, and I think that's right. More to come there for Schlater. Okay, so where does that leave us? We can now look at the current total, and Miege is ahead of Leach, who is only just ahead of Schlater. I think this is all going to come down to the final deadlift, I'm certain of it. 10 kilos separate the top three lifters. Sarah Gardner, 185. Great pull there for Sarah. I've just noticed that Miege has taken the European total record with her opening pull.
It is an European junior record in total. The bar is loaded for Kutsmina Olga, Russian Olympic Committee, 190 kilo, European record in total. Followed by Kensnus and Belgium. Come on, give
This is Kuzmina. She matched the European total record on her opening pull. This will put 7.5 kilos on it. If she can do it. That just looked too heavy. Her opening pull was super tough. Maybe 5 kilo jump would have been better. So here's Ulrich Kensenhaus. Missed her opener. Just did not seem to be able to get it moving. But she's fired up. She brings a bit of intensity. She looks ready. We know she's pulled this weight before and more. And it's moving this time. Can she get it all the way to lockout? That was so tough to get it past the knees. And that's a good lift. She's on the board. Gave us a bit of a fright there, but we still have all our competitors in the competition. Really hard getting it past the knees, but once it did, it just flew to lockout. Annalena Bellqvist from Sweden next. She's put 17.5 on her opening attempt. She's in 4th place and she is a podium contender. Needs to keep pulling like that, and she definitely will be. Great lift for Annalena. Amélie Mieger already took the European total record with her opening pull. This will add 5 kilos. She's in the lead, but not by much. There is nothing in it between the top 3. Oh, nice. Lockout looked a little better than last time. Oh no, side referees disagree. So let's see that up again from the side. Gets it all the way up. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think she locked her knees before she got the down command. So, that really has opened the door now for Leach and Schlater. And you can't take your eye off Belkvist either. So here's Anina Luotonen. This will pull her up in silver on deadlift. Won't move her up in the overall competition. And it's a tough one. Just seemed to run out of power. So here we go with Emily Leach. 240 kilos. This will move her up to 1st place in the deadlift and 1st place overall and take the European record recently set by Mieger. Nice. And that matches the European deadlift record too. And she looks like she's got a bit more to give on that lift. Look at that smile. I would say she'd have another 5 in there. However, here comes Brittany Schlater. For 245, she's gone up 12.5 kilos. That feels like a lot. This will move her into 1st place. Oh, that's great. I wondered if that would be a really tough pull, but it wasn't. It was very comfortable, and she now leads the field. So that missed lift of Amélie Mieger is really going to give her difficulty now, as she's fallen to 3rd place. 1st and 2nd are on body weight, both lifters on 602.5, and the French lifter just 2.5 kilos behind. Top 3 separated by 2.5 kilos. This will come down to the final pull. We're just cleaning up the platform, get rid of all the talc and chalk and make sure everyone's got the best chance of not slipping. And we will clean the bar now between every attempt. Sarah Gardner's going to lead us out. She's having a great day, lifting really well. This will be 190 for her. You can see she had successful attempts at 175, 185, and 185 looked great. She's got it moving, and she's got it to the top. She's delighted with that. That gives her a total of 477.5 and 7th place. Here we go now with Olga Kuzmina of ROC. She is attempting to take the European total record.
Come on, give big head. Come on if you want to see record. Junior record attending total, European.
Again, I think she's let that weight get in front of her, but she's fought through. Great fight there. And it's a good lift. New European total record for Kuzmina. 205 now, and I think that's a good call. Ilarish Kent now, she struggled with her opener. Second attempt, she was really tough to get it through past the knee, but she managed it. I think just putting 2.5 kilos on it is the right move here.
Is loaded for Kenzenuis, Ilarish, Netherlands, 205 kilos, followed by Lottonen and Mierge.
Chalk in hand, make sure she can keep hold of that bar. Chalk on your hands for grip and talc on the legs for slip. Just a little bit too heavy. I think the 202.5 was right on the limit, so leaves her with a 470 total.
That's the moment for the bronze medal in deadlift if you do that.
Anina Luotonen, 230. We have 5 more deadlifts to go in this session. Here she comes, she is asking for the crowd support and she gets it. Missed this last time. Nope, not there today. Leaves her with the best of 220 and a 525 kilo total. Now then, here we have Mierge coming out for 232.5. She missed 227.5. It was on lockout. I think she didn't lock her knees. She needs this to move back into first place. She was one of the big favourites coming in, sitting in third. This will put her back in first place. She needs to lock those knees, and I don't think her shoulders are back. They are not. That's tough to see. She's in third place. Just couldn't get her shoulders back, couldn't quite get her hips through. Big surprise there. And she may be knocked off the podium now by Anna-Lena Belkvist, coming out for a massive 240 kilos. She opened with 200, went to 217.5, and this is 22.5 kilos more. This is a big ask. This is a huge ask, but why not try for it? This will move her up to second place overall on body weight with her teammate. And she got that moving, but you know what? That was worth a try, but it was a bit of a Hail Mary. So Mierge keeps the podium, but she cannot do better than third place. So this is now the battle for first. These two lifters are on the podium, but we don't know what order they will be in. Emily Leach comes out next for 245. This will be a European deadlift record. It's already a European total record. She'd like to extend that even further. It's Emily Mierge's European total record. This will put 5 kilos. on the deadlift record. And it's going. That looks good. What do the referees think? 3 white lights on 245 kilos. That moves Leach up into first place and takes the European deadlift record and the European total record. One more pull. Brittany Schlater. We thought she'd be battling with Miager, but she's going to have to fight Leach for this. We're cleaning the bar up for her. She's asked for 250. She needs this to move ahead. She's lighter in body weight than Leach, so she only has to match her on total. This will be a 12.5 kilo personal best. I questioned the jump she took up to 245, but she made it look very easy indeed. I would not bet against this. It's going, she's locked it out. What's the verdict? 3 white lights, 250 kilos, a 607.5 kilo total. And Brittany Schlater is your new super heavyweight world champion. Well, that was a great session. We saw the World Championship title rest on the final pull, which is how powerlifting should be. I hope you enjoyed our super heavyweight ladies. We have the super heavyweight men coming up in a little more than an hour. Please do join us then, but do stick around for the medal ceremony, which is coming up really quickly.
Thank you. Bench press. Bronze medal in bench press goes to Kotsmina Olga, Russian Olympic Committee, 135 kilos. And here was an interesting fight by bodyweight. The silver medal goes to Leach Emily, Sweden, with 135 kilos. And the gold medal goes to Mirja Anneli, France, 145 kilos. Thank you. And then we go forward with deadlift. Third place goes to Mirja Anneli, France, 222.5 kilos. The second place goes to Leach Emily, Sweden, 225 kilos. And the first place goes to Schlotter, Brittany, Canada, 250 kilos.
I know, I was like, my legs are so little. Thank you. Congrats. Good job.
Thank you very much. We come to the overall medal, total medals. Bronze winner, Mirja Amélie, France, 600 kilos. As you can see, all is very close here. And also here, the title goes only by body weight. So on the second place, we have Leach Emily, Sweden, 675 kilos. And the new world champion by body weight, Schlotter, Brittany, Canada, 607.5 kilos. And I think we all agree it was a very interesting competition here. So great job you have done on here. A big hand for all, and please stand up for the national anthem of Canada. You can think of your march for the national anthem. A big hand here